Hey, what's up, guys? It is the Slay for Slacker back at it with another video, and I have got a couple things. First, I got a channel update, and I want to announce that once I reach 10 channel members, I'm going to be giving away this mat, this specific mat, but brand new. Okay, so brand new in the box. You will receive a brand new mat. I'm going to do that giveaway once I reach 10 channel members, and I'm hoping that this video gets that for the channel, gets that for me. One, I just want to let everybody know that when I do that giveaway, I'm going to give away this mat, as well as the other 9 channel members will win something. I'm thinking a card. So that way everybody's kind of getting something. You know, I want to make it so that, like, if you're a channel member, you are getting something every month for being a channel member. Shout out to you 3 so far. I only have 3, and I'm hoping that this half-hour Cosmo Neos guide gets this channel to 10 channel members, guys. If you like this video, leave a comment. Tell me what I can maybe do to make the deck a little bit better. If you have ideas, feel free to share them. But guys, this is the pure Cosmo Neos complete combo tutorial, 30-minute guide, whatever you want to call it. So first, we're going to start off with the in-depth deck profile, explanations as to why I'm playing what I'm playing, and you can make the educated decision to play what I'm playing or try something else out, maybe if it fits your locals, maybe if it fits your play style a little bit better. But we are starting off with the 1 copy of Vanilla Neos. I don't think that 2 is necessary. I think that 3 is bricky. I think that 2 is bricky, so I'm playing 1 of that and 2 Spirited Neos. I think that is the perfect number of Neos. 2 copies of Stratos for that same reasoning. 3 is too much. 1 is not enough. 1 Blaze Man, 1 Prisma, 1 Shadow Mist, and I am playing a triple. I got 3 Neospatians. I'm playing these because, 1, they are utility. They are not combo starters by any means, but they are decent utility. If you end up going second, Grand Mole is non-targeting, non-destruction removal. Dark Panther is targeting, but you can target an opponent's negate and basically bait the negate and then keep playing. And Aqua Dolphin gives you hand information as well as allows you to snipe a hand trap or a starter out of your opponent's hand. I do want to give a quick shout out to Strider Black. He is in the Neospatian Discord, and he kind of convinced me to play more Crosskeeper. I was at 1 copy of Crosskeeper, 1 copy of Fake Hero. I am still only at 2 Crosskeeper. I tried 3. I think 3 Crosskeeper and 2 Fake Hero is just too damn bricky. That's personal preference. I mean, you might want to, maybe you test 3 cross and 2 fake and you do well. But 3 A Hero Lives, 3 copies of E-Call, self-explanatory. They are non-hard once per turn. So if you activate A Hero Lives and you get ashed and you have a second copy, you just play the second copy. Playset of EN Shuffle, a playset of EN Engage. They're combo starters. You cannot play without 3 of these and 3 of those. And a playset of Pot of Prosperity to try to search out either of these 2. A playset of Fusion Deployment that will allow us to get that hand knowledge as well as maybe snipe a hand trap out of our opponent's hand. 1 Miracle Fusion, 1 Instant Contact, 1 copy of Poly, 1 copy of Rhoda, 1 copy of Called by the Grave because I hate Droll, 1 copy of Fake Hero, 1 copy of Ian Wave. I did actually cut the Marine Dolphin, and I'm playing Ian Wave as kind of like our main kind of linchpin in the Cosmo Neos. You'll see that when I get to the combo guide. 1 Favorite Contact and 1 Protection of the Elements. So guys, that is the 40 card list. I'm going to shuffle this guy up right now and then get to the extra deck. Just kind of make the explanations. If you've already seen the deck profile that I posted, feel free to skip to the time in the timestamp below. Check the description. You'll see it there. But I just kind of wanted to do an in-depth one just to kind of show you guys, you know, explain a little bit better why I'm playing what I'm playing, why the ratios are what they are. Off to our extra deck. So our extra deck is filled with that Cosmo Neos goodness. So Divine Neos, this is not just a nostalgia play. This is actually a linchpin in the combo. It allows us to send Prisma from deck, or sorry, it allows us to banish Prisma from graveyard to send a Neospatian from deck to grave. 1 Cosmo Neos. You don't need 2 because if you play 1, odds are you're winning the game. If you would need to get into a second one, you just go for Shining Neos Wingman or even Nebula. 1 Wake Up because it's going to help you finish games. That is actually kind of part of our combo. I'll show that in a moment. 2 Shining Neos Wingman because if you can't get into Cosmo Neos, you're going to want to get into Shining, and then that second one will help you kind of close out game. But you can even, if you don't get into Cosmo Neos first turn, you can get out into a Shining Neos Wingman and then use the second one as an interruption, which is going to kind of be hard for your opponent because now they have to get over 2 monsters that can't be destroyed by card effects. So that's kind of going to provide them with a little bit of a difficult time. 1 Nebula Neos, because if you need that 1 quick negate, as well as if your opponent's playing something where they have a lot of cards on field, summoning him out is going to get you a shit ton of draws. So there's that. The 1 Infernal Rage, I don't like this card at more than 1 because it's always, maybe not always, but a good bit of time, this is going to be going back to the extra deck. So you don't really need to see more than 1. And we're always going to be tributing him off. More often than not, we're going to be tributing him off to get into the Sunrise, which is going to get us a 1 Miracle Fusion Search. I play 1 Miracle Fusion, 1 Sunrise. I would say to whatever your ratio of Miracle Fusion is, to play that many Sunrise in extra deck because it just totally makes sense. And the 1 Brave Neos because Neos can basically fuse with everything in deck. It's Neos plus a level 4 or lower effect monster. That is all of the elemental heroes in the deck besides Spirit and all of the Neospatians. This can, I mean, you can even use this. Neos plus Crosskeeper can make this. So I am not playing Neos Fusion anymore because I feel like in this particular build, it doesn't help. It hinders more than it helps. So it's kind of why I stopped. Off to the OGs. We've got OG Aqua Neos, Dark Neos, Air, and Grand. These are kind of like your utilities, your toolboxes. And I'll show you whenever I go through the combo. If you summon out Spirit of Neos during your opponent's turn, you can go instant contact and grab one of these 3. This is targets, but it returns to deck. This targets and it negates. This is good for OTKs, and this is good to help get any problematic things out of your opponent's hand. The 1 Flame Wingman, because if you get into, like, depending on what your hand is, there are times where you may activate instant contact and you need something that's not going to go back to your opponent's extra deck. That's where Flame Wingman can be key because these 3 go back. This one doesn't go back, but it's light. This is light, and I wanted a non-light target that is not going to be sent back to the extra deck at the end of the turn. And last but not least, the 1 copy of Wonder Driver. That will allow us to OTK and get back that copy of Miracle Fusion from the grave to OTK on turn 2. At least that's the goal. So guys, if you made it this far, it is time to check out the combo portion. There's going to be a test hand portion at the very end where I'm going to do about 5 to 10 test hands and just see how this deck does. But first, I'm going to showcase you guys a combo, and that is any way to EN engage Neospace plus any way to Stratos. So let me explain, guys. This E-Call, this can be one of many cards. This can be Stratos. This can be a Hero Lives. This can be Shadow Mist. This can be any Neospatian that's not Aqua Dolphin. This can be Rhoda. Okay, this can be a lot of cards. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by activating the E-Call, and I'm going to get us to our boy Stratos. I'm going to normal summon the Stratos, and the Stratos is going to get us into the Shadow Mist. We're going to go ahead and fire off the EN Engage, pitching the Mist, and we are going to pitch a Neospatia from deck that is not Aqua Dolphin. And then we are going to special out the Spirit of Neos. After this card resolves, we are going to get the copy of Polymerization from our deck. Now, just keep in mind, I want to say this. If your opponent activates Troll, and they can Troll you right here, it sucks. But because EN Engage search Poly, they can actually Troll you right here. be prepared for that. And that's why we're packing the called by and the fusion deployment. So that way we're kind of playing Droll at the same ratio. We're playing things to combat Droll at the same ratio that Droll is. So after the EN engage resolves, we get the poly. We're going to go chain link 1, chain link 2. That way if they ash us, we're still getting the Spirited Neo Search. We can still play. We can set up protection of the elements and then go for the Shining Neos Wingman play instead. If they don't hand trap us here, we're going to go chain link 1, chain link 2. Shadow Mist is going to search us our copy of Prisma. And he is going to search us our copy of EN Wave. We're going to actually activate his effect to go back into deck and get out the Vanilla Neos. After we get him out, we're going to activate the EN Wave. And we're going to go ahead and activate the Poly, fusing these two together to make Infernal Rage. Chain link 1, chain link 2. We're going to go ahead and use EN Wave to get out into the Aqua Dolphin. And we're going to use Infernal Rage to get into our trap, the Favorite Contact. We're going to activate the Aqua Dolphin to send the Prisma to look at our opponent's hand. If they have a hand trap, snipe it. If they have a combo starter, snipe it. And then we're going to send him to get into our Sunrise. Sunrise on summon is going to get us into our Miracle Fusion. We're going to activate the Miracle Fusion, and we're going to send the Infernal, the Aqua, the Neos, the Dark Panther, and the Shadow Mist. So we're going to send these 5, leaving the Stratos in our grave. And you're going to see in a minute here why we left Stratos and why we left Prisma. The Miracle Fusion is actually going to get us into the Divine Neo. So like I said earlier, this is not a nostalgia play. This card actually functions. So we're going to activate its effect to banish the Prisma, and we gain its effect to then send, we're going to send a Neospatian from our deck. We're going to go ahead and we're going to reveal the Nebula Neos. That's another reason I play it. And after we reveal that, we're going to go ahead and send the Grand Mole from deck to grave. So let me just kind of like fix up our graveyard a bit. Okay. We are going to set the Favorite Contact, and then at the end of the phase, we have to resolve Divine Neos returns to him because he does copy Grand Mole's name because of the Prisma. Or sorry, he copies Prisma's name, which copies Grand Mole's whatever. He becomes Divine Neos at the end of the turn. My opponent draws, and in their standby phase, I go Favorite Contact, targeting 1, 2, 3, and 4. These 4 go to the bottom of our deck, and we then summon out none other than Cosmo Neos. Now, this is something that I kind of just figured out not that long ago. Kind of sad. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to activate Cosmo Neos effect as Chainlink 1, and Chainlink 2 is going to be the EN Wave to get us into Stratos. So after these chains resolve, and no, it does not miss timing. I just ran through this. So we're going to go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Summon him out. Use Cosmo Neos' effect. Oh, wait, hold on, I lied. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. So that way our opponent cannot respond. No, hold on. Oh, how did I mess this up? Let me just say this one last time. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. You want this to be the very last thing that resolves. So that way our opponent cannot respond to anything. Okay, summoning him out off of EN Wave, and then he searches our Spirit of Neo. Sorry, I literally just tested this, and I just want to make sure I get it right. So I'm going to say it one more time. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. Because we don't want our opponent to respond to Cosmo Neos. We don't want to give them the chance to Veiler or Imperm that or anything at all. So like, to reiterate, sorry guys, I just want to make sure I get this right because I hate putting wrong information out there. Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2. And because this is Chainlink 1, okay, this will be the last thing that happens on field. So that way Stratos' search to get us a Spirit of Neos is going to happen. So it could be Spirit of Neos. This could be Blaze Man. This could be any piece that you think that you will need. I'm going to search for the Spirit of Neos just because I always like to assume that my opponent's going to out whatever I have because it's a YuGiOh. They may draw Super Poly. They may draw the Spear Mode. They may draw Lava Golem. They may draw a Kaiju. It's YuGiOh, dude. Your opponent is more often than not going to draw the out no matter what. So I always kind of prepare for the worst. So I'm searching Spirit of Neos. Again, this can be something like, this can be Blaze Man instead, so you can keep going with your Eon Wave. It could be either of these two. It's really kind of personal preference. If you know what your opponent's playing too, like if you talk to them beforehand, they say, hey, yo, I'm playing this, I'm playing that, you might have a better idea of what to search for. So I'm going to kind of leave these two down here and just kind of show you both routes. My opponent obviously cannot activate card effects on field. They can't activate spells. They can't activate monsters. They can activate effects in their hand, and they can activate effects in their graveyard. So that's kind of why it's situational, but going for the Blaze Man might be the smarter play, and I'll show you why. So if my opponent does declare battle phase, you know, maybe they have evenly matched. Maybe they actually have something on board that can out my guys. You go for the Spirit of Neos. But if you think your opponent's probably just going to scoop because you got out Cosmo Neos, it's a good idea to go for Blaze Man. Okay, and that's off of this Stratos search in case we got lost. But let's say, for example, these all survive, and it comes to my turn. I have to choose. I'm going to say, depending on what my opponent, just for the sake of the combo video, I'm going to search Blaze Man, and then I'm going to draw a card. So the card doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to take Stratos, and we're going to take the Divine Neos, and we're going to link those two away into a copy of Wonder Driver. After we get out into Wonder Driver, we're going to go ahead and we're going to normal that copy of Blaze Man that we searched off of Stratos to that slot that Wonder Driver points to. And that's going to get us a Miracle Fusion. Okay. Now, yes, because I only play one poly, Blaze Man can't recur the poly here, which kind of sucks. But if you're playing Liquid, maybe you do that and search the Stratos. You could have even, I mean, it really depends on kind of like what all you are playing. If you copy this deck 100%, it depends too on what your opponent's playing. But let's say we do that and then we get into that. We can then go ahead and Miracle Fuse, taking the Divine Neos from grave, the Stratos, maybe even the Cosmo Neos, and the Wonder Driver and Blaze Man. Again, it depends on what your opponent is playing. That is 2 fusions and 4 monsters total. Or sorry, 5 monsters total. So that's going to give us a Wake Up Your Elemental Hero with 4,000 attack and 2 attacks. But also, because I used said if your Elemental Hero is used for fusion material, you can special summon a Neo-Spacian. So I can basically get back out into either Dark Panther and or Grand Maul to remove anything or negate an effect if needed to be. So let's say I get out into Grand Maul. Say my opponent got out into something problematic. I can do that, return it to hand, and then Wake Up gets 2 attacks on monsters with 4,000 each. That's 8,000 damage. That's effectively game. And then you have Sunrise's attack. But from there, it's kind of just theoretical. Depending, really, it depends on what your opponent has in their hand. It depends on what your opponent has in their field. Don't ever think that just summoning out Cosmo Neos is a sure thing, because sure it isn't. So I'm going to showcase you guys the next card. It's a 2-card combo. That is a Hero Lives plus EN Shuffle. So opening these 2 cards, again, allows you to get into Cosmo Neos. I'm going to start off with a Hero Lives, and that's going to get us out into the Stratos. Stratos is going to search us our 2nd copy of Stratos, and you'll see why. We're going to normal summon the Stratos out to get us a copy of Shadow Mist. And if you know where this is going, then you kind of know what's about to happen. We're going to go ahead and EN Shuffle the attack mode Stratos back into our deck to get us out into a copy of Spirit. Spirit's going to go ahead and search us for a copy of... Search us a copy of EN. After you do that, you're going to pitch these two, as well as a Neospatian from deck that is not Aqua Dolphin. So I'm going to pitch the Dark Panther. I'm going to summon the Aqua Dolphin. I'm going to use the EN Engage's effect to get the Poly. And I'm going to use the Shadow Mist from Grave to search the Prisma. After I do that, I'm going to activate the Spirit effect to go back to deck. Get out into Vanilla Neos. I'm going to go ahead and at this point, since I have a 2500 attack monster on board, I'm going to use Aqua Dolphin, pitch the Prisma, use its effect to see what I can snipe. I might hit something. I might hit a hand trap. I might hit absolutely nothing. Really just dependent on what your opponent is playing. And that kind of gives you information, too, on which boss monster you should go to. When you hit Aqua Dolphin, you might want to go into... it may be more feasible to go Shining Neo Swingman. It may be more feasible to go to Nebula Neos. Odds are, most of the time, Cosmo Neos is going to be your best bet just because it shuts down more decks than the other two. But again, that hand information off of Aqua Dolphin is going to be very important. Next, we're going to go Poly these two into a copy of Infernal Rage. On summon, he's going to get our trap card, which is Favorite Contact. And then we're going to tribute him out to get into a copy of Sunrise and search our Miracle Fusion. Well, from here, we're going to activate Miracle Fusion. We're going to take the Aqua Dolphin. We're going to take the Neos. We're going to take the Infernal Rage. We're going to take the Dark Panther. And we're going to take the Shadow Mist. Banish all 5 of these guys. And we're going to make a copy of Divine Neos. Divine Neos is going to go ahead and banish Prisma to reveal a fusion monster. We're going to reveal the Nebula Neos. And we're going to send the last Neospatian from deck to grave, which I believe is Dark Panther. Or no, not Dark Panther. It is the Grand Mole. And then we are going to set the instant contact, and we are going to end our turn. So now, we don't have the EN wave on this version. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We're going to activate the Favorite Contact. So theoretically, when you go for this one, you can maybe leave Infernal Rage in grave and banish Stratos instead to make the Divine Neos, because it doesn't really matter. You'd rather have this in your grave. Maybe next turn you can do something with it, but it kind of doesn't matter. So next, we're going to get out into Cosmo Neos. When we get out, we're going to activate his effect. That is going to make it so that our opponent cannot activate monsters or spells on field, and they're effectively going to end their turn. They can activate things in hand, they can activate things in graveyard, and I totally forgot, I said last test hand, or last combo, I said that they can use evenly matched. That is not true, because I forgot Cosmo Neos says they can't activate card effects on field. So they can't Dark Ruler, they can't Forbidden Droplet, they can Kaiju, they can Lava Golem, and they can Spear Mode you, which sucks because we have all of the ingredients to be Lava Golem, Spear Moded, and Kaiju'd. But that doesn't negate the effect, so once they do that, they can only activate cards in hand and in graveyard and in banishment. They cannot activate anything on field. So because this was a simple 2-card combo, I would still have 3 cards in my hand. And then I'm going to draw. So let's see here what I can do. Oh, wow. That is a nice-ass hand. What we can actually do is take the Divine and the Cosmo, link those 2 away for the Wonder Driver. I can actually activate the Fusion Deployment because I return, and I forgot to do that real quick, but I returned the Neospatians plus the Neos using Fusion Deployment. I can get back out into the Neos off of Fusion Deployment and recur a Miracle Fusion. After I do that, I can activate the Miracle Fusion to make a Wake Up Or because I have Neos on board, I could even make Shining Neos. Totally dependent on my opponent's board. I can use those two, or I can banish him, Divine, and Cosmo, and get out into Wake Up. Really, again, it's going to depend on your opponent's board state. And, I mean, these 3 cards really don't matter. You can kind of push for game off of this. And I'm going to showcase you guys one more combo. And just kind of, I'm not going to go through it because I think you guys are pretty smart. I think my audience is pretty smart. You kind of understand already what's going on. But any way that you can get to this, and I'm going to show you real quick. Any way that you can get to a Stratos, a Crosskeeper, and just a way to special into the Spirit of Neos. So what you can do is you can normal out the Crosskeeper, normal out the Stratos, go EN Shuffle, and that will actually, so when you summon out Stratos, you can search for a second Stratos, because this is going to get into your Spirit of Neos. So opening up anything like this, so this can be Rhoda, this can be Fake Hero, this can be E-Call, this can be Rhoda, this can be, I think that's really all this can be. EN Shuffle. This can be Pot of Prosperity. Anything. So we're going to normal summon the Stratos. And I'm not going to go through this whole combo because I do want to give you guys some test hands. And I kind of want to keep this around 30 to 35 minutes max. But so I normal out the Stratos. I activate the EN Shuffle. Obviously off of Stratos, I'm going to search a second Stratos. This is going to summon out Spirit. And then I'm going to use Crosskeeper, summon out the second Stratos, and get a Shadow Mist. And then you go from there, and then just play how we were playing. This can also be, and I figured this out earlier today, this can also be this. So I normal summon the Stratos. I go EN Shuffle. Off the Stratos, I search for Shadow Mist. Okay. And then you EN Shuffle to then get out into the Spirit of Neos, search the EN, engage Neos space, and then you can go E-Call to get into either Shadow Mist or the Prisma, whatever you need, and then you go from there. So this is a nifty little 3-card combo that nets you Cosmo Neos as well. So guys, without further ado, I'm going to shuffle this guy up real good, so that way I can see and kind of, like, I'm not going to really play through each hand. I'm not going to play through each hand, but I'm going to kind of just explain to you, just looking at it, what you can do. All right. So it's 5-card draw. Let's see what we get. So this is 100% Cosmo Neos. Okay, let me explain to you why. We normal out the Stratos. That searches us for, that can search you actually for the Shadow Mist. And then you could go EN Engage and pitch this. So yeah, this hand is 100% Cosmo Neos because you need to get access to 2 Spacians. This will let you do that. So that gets you the Shadow Mist. You could go EN Engage to go out into the Spirit to get you, EN Shuffle to get you to the Spirit, and then the Spirit can get you to EN Engage. Pitching the Shadow Mist from hand that you searched off of him, and then summon one out, and then you can go poly with that, and yeah, that is 100% Cosmo Neos. That is a solid opening. Now, not every hand is going to be Cosmo Neos. You are going to get hand trapped. It's YuGiOh. Again, always expect your opponent has the out. I feel like a lot of YouTubers will talk about their decks as if they're the greatest thing ever, and then add an Ash or like a Veiler, and you're kind of stuck. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So depending on what the Pot of Prosperity hits, we have a lot that we can do here. So even if we go Fusion, we start Well, actually, I'd start with a Hero Lives. Start with a Hero Lives, maybe go for the Blaze Man, get the Poly. But that would all really be contingent on what Pot of Prosperity hits. So if I go Pot of Prosperity, activate that, I'm just going to see what the top 6 are. So I got an Engage. So as long as that pot didn't get ashed, you got Engage off of the pot. So after that, I would have to go Fusion Deployment, get out into our Aqua, send the Hero Lives, so that way we're not losing the life points, and then we can see what our opponent has in hand. So that was actually a pretty solid hand. Let's go ahead and shuffle up. So that is, I am 2 for 2. I'm going to do 5. I'm going to say 5 test hands, because if you don't get the gist of what we're doing now, you're going to need a lot more than just this combo tutorial and deck profile. So guys, we're going to go ahead and do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we go Fusion Deployment. That gets us out into Aqua. We pitch either one of these two. I'd actually say pitch that, because the next turn you can get something out off that. So we do that. That is our Aqua Dolphin. And then we pitch that, and then we go for that, go for Shadow Mist, and then go, Ian Engage from there. And then we pretty much have Cosmo Neos after we complete the combo. And we saw the Fusion Deployment, so we're going to be able to get rid of at least one interruption and get hand knowledge. So guys, I'm going to give you 35 minutes of Cosmo Neos goodness. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe this is our 4th hand. We are 3 for 3 getting Cosmo Neos. And the fact that we open those two, and then Fusion Deployment as a way of looking for Droll or Ash, and then going from there. That is another Cosmo Neos hand. We are 4 for 4. And again, I'm just going to tell you straight up, not every hand is going to be Cosmo Neos, because we're playing bricks, so when you play bricks, you have a very good chance of drawing bricks. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Your opponent has a good chance of drawing a hand trap, okay? It's not just because, we're not playing in a vacuum. You're playing with an opponent. They're going to interact with you. So just be ready for that. Okay, and I believe, yep, Cosmo Neos. Go for Stratos. I showed you this one earlier. This works out. We do actually have the trap, so 5 for 5. What the heck, we'll go for 10 hands. Maybe I can get Cosmo Neos in all 10 hands. I wouldn't bet on those odds, though. I'm going to shoot for, I'm going to say at least 70%, so at least 7 out of 10 will be for Cosmo Neos. Okay, so looking at this, all we need from here is a way to Stratos. Okay, if we can get a way to Stratos, this is Cosmo Neos. So I'd fire off the pot, E-call right off the top. That's Cosmo Neos. As long as the pot doesn't get ashed or drolled to in response, that is Cosmo. So that is 6 for 6. Can't stop there. Got to go for 10. All right, guys, cut the deck here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and bam. Okay, so we get it right off the top. Normal to Stratos, get the Shadow Mist, pop off from there. That is 7 for 7. Who knows? Maybe I will get 10 for 10. As long as, like I said, as long as I get 70% consistency, I'm happy. But I mean, shit, we might even have all test hands get to Cosmo Neos or a route to it. So that was 7. Let's see what we can do for 8. Okay, so I am actually glad that this came up, because we can play through this. So we go E-call. That can go for Stratos or Neos. But what's nice is this is a typical Shining Neos hand. This is not a Cosmo Neos hand. We did not get perfect, which, like I said, I'm glad, because that shows the realism of the deck. If anybody tells you you're going to get Cosmo Neos all the time, they're fucking wrong. So this actually allows us to, honestly, what we can do is use Emergency to search Spirit. Okay, hear me out on this. Use Emergency to search Spirit. Normal out Blaze Man. Blaze Man pitch Shadow Mist. That gets you to Neos, Poly, and then you can go into Infernal Rage, and then you can go into Sunrise. Because Blaze Man says that you can send one from deck to grave, but for the rest of the turn, you can only summon fusion monsters. So that hand actually worked out. You would get Shining Neo Swingman on board, 1 for interruption, and then a spirit in hand. So even though we didn't get to Cosmo Neos, that hand was still a banger. So we are we're 7 for 10, and this is the 9th test hand, I believe, because we missed 1. But that still ended up being a decent hand. If I can get a way to, I'm going to use pot. If I can get to EN engage. If not, if I do a Hero Lives, I think I can still get it. Because a Hero Lives for Stratos. And then I can use that to search the Aqua. And then I can use that to special it out. So that's Cosmo Neos right there. We're 8 for 10. And then this last hand to see if we can go 9 for 10. Because even though we didn't get Cosmo Neos on one hand, that hand was still decent. So I got to be honest. Guys, last hand. Okay. So, pot. Do I have a way to EN engage? If I don't, okay. I would say that you add the Aqua, or no, you add the Fusion Deployment. Hear me out. Hear me out. This is Cosmo Neos. Fusion Deployment gets out into Aqua. You go E-Call for a Shadow Mist. Aqua, pitch the Shadow Mist, gets you a search. You check your opponent's hand, blah, blah, blah. That then gets you a search. You have 2 heroes in hand. You can poly those 2 away. Or sorry, normal 1. Sorry, E-Call for Stratos. Normal to Stratos, get another search. You then have 2 heroes in hand. You poly those 2 away. Keep your Stratos on board. EN shuffle the Stratos away. Okay. Thinking here, because we have this on board. I'm trying to think here. Playing this out. Yeah, this is definitely Cosmo Neos. Just by looking at it. But I feel like you have to really be careful with how you handle this. Because no, I lied. Okay, leave those in hand. You go Fusion Deployment, get you into Aqua. You go Poly, pitch the Poly. You then go Emergency Call, summon out of Stratos. Stratos get you a Shadow Mist. Leave the Shadow Mist in hand. EN shuffle that. Return that to deck. Summon out the Spirit of Neos. Get the engage. Pitch the Shadow Mist. Yeah, this is Cosmo Neos. So I went 9 for 10, guys. I hope that this guide helped you out. If you have questions, please pop them below. If you have other combo ideas, please let me know. If you have something that you want to add, if you think it would help the deck, please let me know. Guys, if you like this video, if you want to see more things like this with other decks, or if you want to see more in-depth elemental hero builds, masked hero builds, evil hero build, whatever, let me know below. But also, guys, if you wouldn't mind, for just 99 cents, you can become a channel member. They range from 99 cents to $1.99 to $2.99. And I just got to say, all of my channel members, I hook you guys up every month. You get a free card, some form of, something for free. But once I hit 10, I'm going to do a giveaway for this mat. I'm going to get a brand new version of this mat. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to get a new mat, and I'm going to mail it to one of my channel members. The other 9 are going to get a free card. So, guys, I hook you up every month. I'm hooking everybody up. Please, if you like this video, consider becoming a channel member. Slifer Slacker out, guys. Get your game on. This deck is going to be so fun if you want to play at locals. I really think this is the way to do it. If you want to add the YuGiOh stuff as a side deck, do it. Test it out. Let me know how it does. Guys, Slifer Slacker out. Please, if you haven't, like, comment, subscribe, join the channel. The link is going to be below in the description. So, guys, Master Hero, I said Master Hero YuGiOh. Slifer Slacker out. Like it, comment, subscribe, test it out. Let me know how you do. Try it on Master, Duel, whatever. Cypher Slacker out.